In this video, we're going to be talking about isometrics for midfoot supination. So supination of the midfoot is lifting up the arch here. And the prerequisite for this is that we can have a little toe flexion down. So that means the big toe can actually move down at the first MTP, not the small joint here curling. We're talking about flexing at this primary joint here. And also that we can feel a little sensation inside the ankle for ankle inversion. These two pieces are usually required to really feel the midfoot. So that's going to be recommended to get those going a little bit before you try this. Most of the time, when people try to do midfoot supination, we see a lot of lifting of the ball of the foot here, and the toes will often be curling down like this. That's a compensation that typically happens when the toes are doing something that the arch and the midfoot can't actually do. So one of the best ways that we can combat that, and the easiest way to feel the midfoot when we're first starting, is to use some sort of a prop to lift the toes up so that they can have their own job while we're trying to focus on the midfoot. So our goal here is to start feeling muscles here in the center of the foot underneath the arch. And because the ankle inversion portion of our tissue plus the toe flexors, they all run really close to the same area, the easiest way to teach this is to typically feel the toes flexing down and feel the ankle inverting, and then try to add in the midfoot effort secondarily. So that's going to actually be our setup here. Prop the toes up a little bit. If your toes go up really tall, we may want to make those even higher up and have a taller prop. And we'll start by just having the big toes and the small toes flex down gently into that prop. Just 10 or 20% effort. And our goal is to feel that flexion effort underneath the foot here in the ball of the foot. Then secondarily, we can try to get a little ankle inversion effort. This is to try to feel a little bit of sensation on the inside of the ankle here anywhere. And then we can try to lift the arch higher actually by feeling the muscles sort of in between these two zones. And to feel this, it's usually best just to hang out for 10 or 20 seconds and try to softly feel that effort. Sometimes it can be helpful to take a finger or a thumb and try to palpate this area and see if you can squeeze it and then find the muscles right in that zone and try to actually flex the muscles that your fingers are squeezing. The body often will respond to force like that by producing force back, and our goal is to feel that sensation in the midfoot as we squeeze to make the arch higher. So a midfoot supination isometric is actually known as Shortfoot, and we can think about this generally as our goal is to bring the toes down, invert the ankle a little bit, and then squeeze this ball of the foot and the heel closer together, which makes the foot a little shorter. So we can just try this a few times. We don't really want to come in and out of this position. What we want to do is really just hold this position, try to keep the ball of the big toe down, try to keep the heel down, keep these toes flexing down softly as well, and see if we can tease out the feeling a little more of the midfoot itself, and just try to hold that sensation for 30 to 60 seconds. With fairly low intensity, we want to start that with 5, 10, 15% effort. Once we get more familiar and comfortable with making this muscular contraction, then we can actually start to ramp up that intensity. 20% effort, 40% effort, 60% effort, and so on. And really, once we can do that for 30 to 60 seconds a few times, this is one of the few isometrics that are really recommended to do as much as you can comfortably, as long as your body responds okay. This is something that is really meant to take a lot of force and be contracting all the time when we're on our feet and walking around. So as soon as you can feel this contraction here, we want to see if we can actually make this muscular contraction without the toes and without the ankle, so that we would simply contract the midfoot muscles by themselves and not actually feel a whole lot of effort at the toes moving down or inside the ankle. That's going to be a real honest midfoot supination, but then we can also flex the toes down, invert the ankle to combine those three efforts into the effort that controls the midfoot from three different places and get an even stronger sense of effort from that.